Starlet Wahu, a Kenyan socialite and the younger sister to controversial evangelistic pastor Kanyari, was found brutally murdered in a South Air Bnb in Nairobi County. One thing we haven't known yet is what really transpired in that Airbnb on January 3rd, 2024. Welcome guys, I'm Otieno Ocho and this is BNN, where we provide you the latest news, gossip and entertainment. And guys, leo tunaenda kujaribu kuwa DCI because we don't know one thing. We all know that Starlet Wahu was murdered by the main suspect in this case, who is John Matara, but we actually don't know what happened in that Airbnb, what led to the unfortunate death of Starlet Wahu. Anyway guys, we are going to chambua hizo vitu. We are going to come out with variables of what really transpired that night, because as per now, Starlet Wahu has already been buried and John Matara is in police custody, and only two people can really ascertain on the events that transpired that night. That is Starlet Wahu and John Matara. But don't worry guys, we are going to make our own variable and come out with our own story so that we can give our hearts some closure on what really transpired. So we know that John Matara and Starlet Wahu checked in at the Airbnb on January 3rd at night, but we don't know what really happened. So this is what might have happened. As we all know that John Matara has lured several women, and akishawaliwa, they have sex. I don't know if they have sex, but it ends up with John Matara trying to blackmail the victims. We have seen several women coming out and calling out and saying that John Matara has done this, John Matara has done that. We've seen Black Cinderella saying that some of her friends have complained about this guy, John Matara. So what happened after Starlet and John Matara entered the room and decided to do the first thing? So I think walienda kwa room. After they got into the room, they tested as some of the, because one of the evidence that was gotten from the Airbnb was the HIV self-test kit. So they obviously tested and had the first round. So shida zilitokea hapa second round. So probably that is the time when John Matara decided, like, let me remove my knife and let me threaten this girl. So probably John Matara had started questioning Starlet. Anamuliza bana, toa pesa ama I'll do this. Maybe John Matara took a video, or we don't know what really happened. So Starlet maybe tried to make some calls, but the money was not adding up. And Starlet might have probably tried to attack John Matara, triggering him to kill her. Because in such a situation, let's say your bodily instincts, your natural instincts, because according to police kuna a sign of struggle and John Matara alitoka hapo with some injuries. Some people are saying that John Matara could have stabbed himself, but guys, listen to me. If it were for him to stab himself, hata kama ni mimi, ningejidunga na nitoke nje nikipiga nduru niseme why msichana anataka kuniua. Then wakiingia kwa room, they find that girl, maybe her lifeless body, or like she's somewhere in between limbo or trying to come back to earth. So hapo unasema you are trying to this and this, and like this girl started blackmailing me and she started, like, she dragged me. You can just come up with a whole story. But this guy alitoka, and you could see from the CCTV that people were like looking at him and saying like, guys pale ametoka, it does not look like a nice. And keep in mind, they were drunk. So I don't think like kama alijistab, and his wounds were so deep. So probably Starlet Wahu tried to fight back, no, you cannot come and blackmail me, you cannot come and do whatever. And Starlet Wahu tried to fight back and tried to run to the door, like to open it, but by bad luck John Matara was too strong for Starlet Wahu, because you can't start comparing between the physical capabilities of a man and a woman. Yes, kuna wale wanaume wanapiganga wanawake, but John Matara is probably mwanaume amekula ugali. And guys, another piece of information that adds weight to my alibi is that this is the first victim to be brutally murdered by John Matara. I don't know if there's other female victims that have been murdered before by John Matara, but this was the first victim. And it was brutal. And for a sane person, utoke, unaona ile lift iko na watu, na unaingia, and you're all bloody, you're all messy, you have wounds, na umetoka kwa nyumba. Somebody in his right mind hawezi hivyo, and somebody in his right mind will try and clean up. So probably Starlet tried to fight back. Starlet triggered him, and John Matara resorted to killing her, because out of all the victims to Mona, it's just physical violence, being beaten, being tied by a rope, being blackmailed, to being extorted money. It's just in that line. And I don't think you'd want to kill somebody you're extorting money from. I don't think like people ought to kill, because probably I think it was an accident. At this point, I think it was an accident, something that it was not planned for. I think John Matara akiingia hapo kwa hiyo room, he did not plan on killing Starlet Wahu. Something just went wrong for him to be triggered na Starlet akauliwa hivyo. Anyway, a lot of information is still coming out, and a lot of information has also been released. And guys, if you want to catch exclusive tea on this story, you better subscribe to BNN Premium, because that's where the real tea is, honey. Anyway guys, we'll also be doing another video on John Matara. Who is he, where did he come up from, when did he start blackmailing escorts? And guys, we'll do a whole video on that. Anyway guys, drop your comments down on the comment section below. What do you think? What happened on that fateful night of January 3rd? I'd really like to hear from you guys. Anyway, I've been yours truly, Otieno Ocho, and this was BNN. Till we meet next time, bye.